My name is Amandla Baraka. I'm a filmmaker and a photographer. The film, tentatively called Free Food, is a profile piece about the One Love Community Fridge project that is led by Asmaret, a woman named Asmaret, and we sort of follow her journey, to picking up the food, meeting with her volunteers, dropping off the food at the community refrigerators, the intensity and the controlled chaos of those community refrigerators, and then we see the work that they do outside of the refrigerators. It kind of just profiles this organization and the work that people, like actual community members, are doing to make the community better. So my role in this process was director. My role as a director in general, but like specifically for this project, was to focus the film's message and deliver a product deliver a film that was, focused on the work that people are doing to advance society and make us better. Because when we talk about food insecurity, a lot of different conversations can come up. And I think with this project, we wanted to focus on, where the government falls short, the community steps in. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have to have a community refrigerator project volunteer-led. It would be state-led. People would be able to access healthy food without a problem. But that's just not the reality we live in. So my role was to kind of focus on the solution to food insecurity and focus our project on that. And I'm a very collaborative person. I feed off other people's energy. And so that process has been very much like putting our heads together as a team of people, working with the community refrigerator volunteers, working with Asmaret, working with my DP, Pierce Robinson, working with my editor, Alvaro, from Cabin Edit. We've been like head to head coming up with ideas, thinking about ways to like advance the story and make it better. Even down to my composer, Kofi Hunter. Me and him have been like talking deeply about the music for this and like what that means for the story, because I feel like the story is what's important. And I'm a hyper collaborative person. And like I said, I feed off other people. And so I feel like there's always a way, in isolation, I can come up with the focus, I can come up with the direction. But then in the execution, I think it's so important to like have other people's minds involved to, just add perspective to the film, but also to, just give it the depth that it needs. Maybe there's things that I don't see because my experience is singular. When we're talking about a community project, I think it involves the community. While we were on set, there was a woman, in the middle of us. We're in the middle of the Saturday morning community refrigerator drop-off, which is like the drop-off. The Saturday morning drop-off at Fort Greene community fridge on Adelphi, that's like the drop-off because everybody's there from all different parts of Brooklyn, really. They all come there because a lot of the community refrigerators go, like a lot of the community organizations that fill those refrigerators, they go to that fridge. So you'll find like all kinds of people from different walks of life. You'll find like Latinos, you'll find Black people, you'll find Asian people, you'll find white people. You find literally all kinds of people, and they're all like, just trying to get some food. They've all had something happen in their lives where they need to use this refrigerator now. No matter what walk of life they're on. So one of the women approached the refrigerator as we're doing an interview, and she looks into the refrigerator, and she sees that there's no more meat left in there, and she gets upset. She's like, "Where's all the meat?" And that's the first thing I hear her say. She goes, "Where's all the meat?" Mind you, we're conducting an interview. So I have a very like ADHD brain where I could be hyper focused on one thing, but if something distracts me, I'm going to, like, I noticed that she was doing that. And I saw her starting to, like, her energy starting to rise. And so as we're doing the interview, we're doing our best to continue the interview, and she gets louder and louder. She's like, "Where's the beep meat?" Like, she's like cursing and stuff, and it gets really intense. I end up having to like kind of talk her down a little bit. I just, she was another Black woman, and I met her where she was at, and I was like, "Listen, like, I'm trying to make a film about the community, and we can get your perspective after this, because I understand that you feel," her perspective was that she felt like people were hoarding the food. There were certain groups of people that were hoarding food. And, I talked with her about it, and as a director, my mind is like, well, this is an interesting, like, divot to focus in on, for this project. Like, this happens at the fridge. That's, like, it speaks to human nature. What happens when you give a community a bunch of free food? There's people that'll probably try and hoard it. That's just what happens. But then there's also community members at those refrigerators that will regulate and make sure there aren't people hoarding, and make sure that there aren't people like trying to take more than what somebody else has. Or if there's an older woman trying to get food out of the fridge, they're there to be like, "Okay, ma'am, you come forward. Everybody let this woman come forward. She's older. You know what I'm saying? Like, they regulate." And you'll see those people in the film, some of those volunteers that help out. They use the refrigerators, but they also like volunteer to help regulate everything. And so I just kind of was telling her, she kind of, she calmed down for a second, and we have all of, her, when she was yelling and fussing and everything, we have it all recorded. So, in post, as a director, I'm thinking like, okay, we could use this. This could be, another kind of perspective to add to the film. But then I had to think about, what I wanted this film to be about. Like I said earlier, I really wanted to focus on the people that are doing the work to make the community better. I really wanted to focus on, where the government lacks, the community steps in. And, talking about individuals that hoard food at the community refrigerator was just not the conversation I was trying to have. That's another film. That's something else that another film could talk about. And there's so many different things. There's so many different specificities that happen at those community refrigerators, and I feel like we could talk about them, but just not for this project, because that's not what I wanted to focus on. And so that was like a moment for me to decide, like, okay, how do we focus this film in a way that was like, that still tells the story, but still, talks about the conflict, of using a community refrigerator or having a community refrigerator. And, my decision was to leave her out of this, because that's another story. We're still in post-production, so we will start promoting once our trailer is finished. Once our music gets done and when we're in picture lock, we'll start the promoting the trailer, and you can find that on the One Love Community Refrigerator Instagram, which I believe is just One Love Community Fridge on Instagram. You can also follow me. I'll be posting it at To The People. Keep up with us on social media. We'll have some articles out about it. We're figuring out like a good, wholesome way to market this work, and still also use this film as a way in for people to that community. So yeah, if you follow us on social media, you can follow the work there.